Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at WeRide. They're an autonomous driving company, a technology company based out of China, so there's some inherent risk with that. However, the chart looks great. So I'm going to show you kind of what I'm seeing. The ticker symbol is WRD. It came out, IPO'd as an ADR and flew up as high as about $45, and this was back in March of 2025, and then from there it took this monstrous descent all the way down to about $6.60, where it formed this inverse head and shoulders, which, as you can see, failed, right? But I left it on there because I want to show you kind of how that looks and how it frames in using this diagonal downtrending support line. So you have this left shoulder, this head, this right shoulder. You can see the breakout, and then you can see the failure back into it. So that obviously led to a pretty big move all the way down to about 730, to where it found support on this line. And what I did was I took this pivot low here and lined it up with this pivot low, and then you take it through essentially the right shoulder. And let me just make this so just a tad bit larger to the right shoulder, and then you can see we kind of kissed it right here, and we're forming this little bottom. Now, the reason I didn't drag this down, which you might have to do at a later point, depending on how this thing moves, is you don't get this touch point right here, right? So, but that may be something that we look at a later date, but for now, it's clear as day. You're going to want to draw it through that little pivot here, and let me just take this off. But you can see actually where it rejected on the inverse head and shoulders. See how it basically came up and kissed that, and that's why that horizontal line is there. But let's take that off for a moment. And now let's make sure we're precise. And we go through this low, this pivot low on the right shoulder, and then boom, we have this kiss. Now, it didn't fully come down and touch this, so that's still a possibility, right? It still could come down. However, we are getting, if you take this up a little bit higher, you get a little bit closer of a kiss. Let me make that there. There we go. And let's take that up, and that's how we get it. Yeah, so you get a kiss there. But more important than that is this, and I want to bring your attention to the huge green buy candles. So you had this huge buy candle here, which we fell through this pivot, this support line, came back through it, reestablished, launched again, reestablished. So you know this because of this right here, how it touches here, rejects, right? Comes through, doesn't confirm. Kisses here or touches, rejects. Then it finally pushes through, comes back in, needs to push through again, and then it retests. So you can see this is a monstrous support line and is definitely the right support line to draw here, which is giving us this kiss here. Now, can this come back down and touch down here? 100%. So just be mindful and be aware of that. However, because of this green buy volume on 3 different occasions, actually 4, I'm inclined to think this little doji marked the kind of bottom, especially with the price action we're getting today and RSI curling back up and moving higher. So I think this one has some room to run. I think you're early in the name in getting into it. Now, just be aware, as I fully disclaim, I'm not a financial advisor. I only do this for educational purposes and to show you what I'm doing with my own personal strategies and portfolio and trading portfolio, both swing and day trade. Now, this obviously would be a swing trade. I'm in it. I bought it right here on this kind of doji here. So today has a nice move. So I'm already in the money. But I would be based on today's close, I might potentially add, because I do think this thing's going to run. So where can it run? Well, the first thing we would want to do is we're probably going to want to redraw that support or that resistance line, because that's where it got rejected last time from the inverse head and shoulders. So that's a big area, obviously, but you might run into, obviously you're going to run into some additional areas, like right here. You got to clear this pivot top, this little bear flag, this high right here. So I'm just going to put another one in here so you guys can see it. Right there, you're going to run into some resistance at 928 for sure. And then potentially along the way, you can even draw this little fib here and see where that aligns. So you can take that there. and you're probably going to run into, yeah, there you go. That aligns with that 0.382. You got the 0.50 right above that at 955. Then you got the golden pocket. So all of those are going to be areas of resistance as we go up. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I like this as an opportunity, especially kind of with robo-taxi and what Tesla is doing right now. It's consolidating, but nonetheless, it had a monstrous move yesterday. You got Uber making a monster move today. You have a couple of these really flying. So I think this looks good. I like it, yeah, that's kind of where this one stands. Excuse me. So as always, all I ask in return for these videos is a like if you enjoyed the content, if you see value in it. And I bring these to you 2 or 3 times a day. It's a newer channel, so the more comments, the more likes, the more shares, all of that matters. That's all I ask is if you can help me out and help support the channel. That's all this is. There's no services, there's no fees. It's just bringing you good trade setups, good trade entries, and with the idea and hope that we all make a lot of money together. So hopefully you guys will smash that like button for me, show me a little love, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.